As we get more and more into topics that can affect the long-term stability of our sites, we need to focus on some core principles of good site management. We'll cover those topics now and provide a checklist for any potentially dangerous site changes that you may need to perform. 1. Create a change plan or backout plan. If you are doing any action on your live site, you will want to make a step-by-step plan of action that you can reverse at any step along the way. This includes beginning with backups, having a tested step-by-step plan for installing upgrades, and having a restore procedure ready in case of a major issue. Remember, each step should be reversible and follow a plan you've worked out ahead of time. 2. Back up your site. Knowing how to back up your site is critical as a Joomla administrator. Unfortunately, every web hosting service does things a little differently. The key things you need to back up are the Joomla database and site files. The database contains all of your components configuration, module data, article content, and any other content for third-party extensions. The database may be backed up using a feature in your web hosting control panel. Most services provide a good feature to do this well. If yours does not, you can install a Joomla extension that will back up your database for you. Visit the Joomla extensions directory to find a backup component that suits your needs. Your web hosting provider should also supply a way to back up the site files, which also includes your Joomla code, media manager content, file downloads, and other file-based information. Please consult your web hosting service instructions for backing up your site files. 3. Use a test instance. It is a very good idea to have access to a one-click Joomla install service. Testing out extensions on a live site is rarely a good idea and can result in a degraded user experience. Any operation that significantly changes the Joomla database should be done on a test Joomla instance if you have any option to do so. 4. Take notes during changes. If you're testing out a new extension or making any other changes, it is a very good idea to take notes, especially where steps you had to take differed from the extension's documentation. These notes will be invaluable if you need to post a forum question or reproduce the configuration at a later date. In many cases, you may not receive a valid answer from support resources if you cannot trace your actions. They may not have seen the issue before and will rely on your notes to identify the issue to suggest a fix. Where possible, grab screenshots or cut and paste error code messages or unexpected results. This will make seeking support much easier and reduce the unpleasant or rude responses a lot of new users receive when using public support forums. 5. Don't be afraid to invoke support. If you are using a paid extension, you should take full advantage of their support option and do not hesitate to lean on their experience as much as you need. This is one of the benefits of buying support, so do not hesitate to use it. If you are using a free extension, take advantage of the support forums or comment areas that the developer provides. This should be the first step for seeking support. If you've exhausted this or the developer is not responsive, you may seek support at the larger forums such as joomla.org. But be aware that seeking support for a specific extension is not the original intent of those forums. It is important to be polite, specific, and accurate if you're asking off-topic questions. 6. Invoke your web hosting support for non-Joomla related issues. In some rare cases, problems with your site may not be caused by Joomla or any extensions. If your site is running slow, fails to load, or has other account-related issues, it's a good idea to bring in your web hosting support as needed. So be sure to rule that out first if possible. You can confirm your web hosting service is up and running by attempting to download an image directly from your images stories directory by going directly to the URL, for instance. This covers some of the good practices Joomla administrators should be following when performing site changes. If you run into a major issue on your production site, you can seek a professional Joomla consultant to quickly solve issues. If you expect to need one in the future, it is a good idea to establish a relationship with 2 or 3 today. If you have an urgent situation, it is better to know who you'll be working with before you run into any problems. The rest of the process, such as exactly what to do for any given situation, will vary from issue to issue. If you follow the procedures, however, you will find that you have a backup plan that you can use to recover from most situations.